This tutorial is for 4th grade, Module 1, Lesson 2a. In this lesson, we're going to show that when we multiply a number by 10, that number shifts over on the place value chart one space to the left. In other words, the number gets 10 times greater as we move it on the place value chart. The first question is showing 10 times 2, and we're going to model this multiplication on the place value chart. So you can see that we have our two discs in our ones place, and this is just a review of multiplication. So if I think about taking 10 times 1, well, 10 times 1 is 10, so that means that this one disc would move over into the tens place. And then if I take 10 times 1 again, that disc would also move over. And that shows me that 10 times 2 is the same thing as two groups of 10 or 20. So again, this problem is just a simple problem that we can use to set up that pattern of when we multiply by 10, everything shifts over on the place value chart one space to the left. So I can use that pattern to help me with the next problem. Here I have 10 times 30. Well, if I take 10 times one group of 10, 10 times 10 is 100, and I would do that for each of those discs until I've moved them all over into the hundreds place. So that shows me that 10 times 30 is the same thing as 300. In the next problem, I have 10 times 400. So I know that each of these discs will now move over into the thousands place when I take them times 10. That means that 10 times 400 equals 4,000. Now that pattern will help me when I multiply using numbers on the place value chart. This problem is asking for 10 times 60. I have a 6 in my tens place to represent the 60. Since I'm multiplying by 10, I know that that number will shift to the left one place value. So I'll move the 6 over, and that tells me that 10 times 60 is 600. In this problem, I'm multiplying 4 tens and 3 ones times 10, so I'm going to use 2 rows of my place value chart to help me keep my numbers organized when I show that shift over to the next place value. So I'm going to start by writing the 4 tens and the 3 ones. So I have 4 in the tens place and 3 in the ones place. Since I'm multiplying by 10, I know that everything will shift over one place value to the left. So if I move the 4 over, it's going to land in the hundreds place. The 3 will now be in the tens place, and then I need to fill in the 0 in the ones place. I can't leave that spot blank. So 4 tens and 3 ones times 10 equals 430. And let's do one more problem showing how we can use the 2 rows on the place value chart to help us keep our numbers straight. For this problem, I'm multiplying 7,800 times 10. I'll start by putting my digits in the place value chart. So I have 7,000s, 800s, I don't have any tens, and I don't have any ones. Since I'm multiplying this by 10, everything will shift over one place value to the left. So 7,000s times 10 would be 7 10,000s or 70,000. And then the 8 would move to the 1,000 place, and I'll fill in the rest with zeros. So 7,000s and 800s times 10 equals 78,000. So once again, the pattern here is when we multiply by 10, I know that my digits are all going to shift over one place value to the left on my place value chart.